What's going on, guys? So in today's video, we're going to follow up to a video that I already made on both of these. I did a detailed comparison and kind of a review analysis on how they functioned on both this Q Hitch 25,000 pound rated fifth wheel hitch, as well as the BMW 25,000 pound rated Companion fifth wheel hitch. Both are phenomenal products, very reputable. They're both manufactured in the United States, which is really nice. And they both accomplish the same thing in kind of a very different way. But in this video, I purchased this really cool accessory right here, which is actually going to help us demonstrate how this system works a little bit more effectively. And I think that a lot of people wanted to see that. I did not have a means of showing you this in the last video, and I wanted to make a quick follow-up to that. Okay, and because I know there's going to be some folks who really want to see how these mechanisms actually work with a kingpin, I have this product right here. I actually picked this up off of Amazon. A lot of companies make them. I don't know if my channel sponsor carries them, but I wanted it overnighted, so I went ahead and bought this one. It was about $60, $70, I think. But it has a kingpin on one side and a 2 5/16 inch ball on the other side, in case you want to use a gooseneck with an adjustable coupler to work with your fifth wheel hitch. I guess if you have rails, but you don't actually have a drop-in goose ball spot in the center. So this would kind of give you that flexibility, so long as the coupler on your gooseneck hitch can go high enough into the sleeve for it to work with this. So I have the little lubrication pad that actually came with this on here. You can see it has a standard kingpin on it right here. We have the Q hitch in its open and ready position. Jaws are open, and when this slides in, jaws completely lock around it. There really isn't a heck of a lot of movement at that point. You maybe have a 1/4 inch of movement upwards or vertically, and hardly, actually really no movement, maybe a millimeter, just very, very, very little movement. When you come around to the other side, you can actually see we are in our green coupled position. You would close this, pin that shut, and you'd be ready to tow. And then when you get to where you're going, you flip that open after you unpin it, and then you simply pull that out, and you can see how it kind of spits the kingpin out a little bit because of how the jaws work. They basically slide back a little bit whenever they open up. On the BMW, it's kind of similar, but not. And we're going to open the jaws completely before we get ready to couple. Basically the same process as this one over here, except you have to open it by pulling that lever out. Then we're going to take our same piece right here. And I don't have the strength to do this manually, but you can see the jaws are almost shut. When I pull the handle right here, they're completely locked into those 1-inch jaws. Again, very little movement. There's actually probably a little less. Actually, it feels pretty close. There's not much movement at all, if any. You have little less vertical movement as well, probably 1/8 of an inch. So yeah, you have a little bit less movement here than you do on the Q hitch, but they're both very, very similar. I mean, it's so marginal, you probably wouldn't be able to tell the difference. And then whenever you release it, well, actually to lock it up, you drop a pin through here. So basically that pin would go through here, and you are ready to tow. This is secured in place. When you get where you're going, take that pin out, and then this will push the actual kingpin out slightly so you can back your fifth wheel out. So again, two really, really good setups. They both work really well. The Q hitch feels a little bit more automatic in terms of locking in, because I've had at times when I was using this where you'd back up and it wouldn't fully engage the jaws to where they'd lock, because the jaws wouldn't fully close around it. You'd have to actually close the jaws. On this one, again, I like the fact that once you have it set and ready to go, it locks in place for you. You simply pin it right here, pop this pin through here, and you are absolutely ready to go. So very, very good setups. This one has more simplicity to it, which a lot of people will appreciate. Very tried and true. This one also is simple, but a little bit more complex in its overall design because it's a spring mechanism. But again, also very tried and true. So they're both very, very very tried solutions. They've been used by a lot of folks, especially if you purchased it as an OEM hitch or you bought it aftermarket. Just very, very great hitches, both of them. But yeah, that's essentially how they operate. So what did you guys think? This is pretty interesting. I'd love to know what your feedback is. I'd love to know which hitch you prefer, which hitch you've used, if you have another brand of hitch that you really like, specifically a fifth wheel hitch with a conventional kingpin. Not really looking for the other types that utilize a ball like an Anderson hitch or some of the other products that are on the market. If you're electing to go with a standard fifth wheel hitch, which one do you prefer and why? If you're looking at these two products, my channel sponsor eTrailer.com carries them both. They're both absolutely fantastic. Got to be honest with you, even though I am a huge fan of the BMW Companion, from a looks perspective, I really like the look of the Q hitch. This thing looks really, really cool and sleek, especially if you have a black pickup truck with a black bed liner. That said, I will throw links in the description of this video to both of these products if you're interested in them. And yeah, definitely something you should check out. This is a great value because it's about $300 less than the Companion. So you can definitely save some coin if you are shopping for a high quality, super reputable brand with some really, really great characteristics in terms of auto latching and some of the features that you might be looking for and the articulation. But at the end of the day, you're not going to go wrong with either one of them. It really just comes down to preference and the features that you prefer with the hitch that you select. Guys, if you haven't had a chance, please take a moment, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up. We'll talk to you again very, very soon.